Good morning, Rod.
Good morning, Linda.
If I am looking for a DUI attorney in your jurisdiction, what are the things that I should be looking at? What are the factors that I should consider?
Well, first off, you need to know what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. So if you're looking just to go in there and plead guilty, you don't need my services. Matter of fact, you don't need to hire a lawyer to go and plead guilty. The judge will help you out at arraignment. If you are looking at serious consequences, then you want to hire someone like me. There's plenty of attorneys out there that are advertising to do DWI defense, and it's good to talk with them and get to know them, shop around. But when it comes down to it, are you going to want somebody that knows what they're doing, that does this 80-90% of all their business over a 20-year period, or somebody that's just starting out? Are you going to want somebody who takes lots of cases and for a minimal fee, or are you going to want somebody that is going to charge you enough money to do the proper work on the case? So those are some of the basics to start out with. Are you wanting just a plea bargain, or do you need to win this thing?
Is it a good idea for me to just plead guilty and avoid having to pay an attorney?
Almost never. Now, for some people, maybe that's the thing they need to do. But there's an old saying in our business, friends don't let friends plead guilty. And just because the law is the way it is now doesn't mean it's not going to change a few months or a few years down the road. And the consequences of a conviction now in New Mexico will last the rest of your life.
What kind of consequences are we talking about?
So you're looking at, on a first offense, a minimum of 0 to 90 days jail. That may change shortly to a mandatory minimal jail. If you have an aggravated DWI of a .16 or higher, or a refusal to take a test, then you're looking at a minimal of 2 days in jail up to 90. $0 to $500 fine. There's also DWI school, victim impact panel, alcohol screening, 1 year probation, 1 year of an ignition interlock, because you'll be revoked for 1 year. This is just the criminal court process that we're talking about. You're also looking at a motor vehicle hearing, which can result in a 6-month or 1 year revocation of your license. So that's just a first offense. Most insurance carriers, if they don't drop you from coverage, supposedly triple your rate for 3 to 5 years. And you can imagine a lot of employers are not going to be happy with having somebody with a conviction.
Can you really make a difference for me if I'm arrested for DWI?
I think in the overwhelming majority of our cases, we've made a great difference in the outcome of a case. Even in those where it's not a total dismissal or victory, overwhelmingly my clients are very happy and pleased with the results.
Tell me a little bit about your background and experience working in this field.
Well, I've been at it for 21 years now, and private practice since 1991. I had 8 years as a municipal judge alternate, kind of a backup judge. Had about 1.5 years as a special prosecutor. And
You've seen all sides.
I've worn the hat, and even in my youth, I've been in the back of police cars. Maybe that's why I do what I do.
So how does that breadth of experience help you? Because that's unusual.
Well, I know, I guess I know my audience, who I'm playing to. And as a judge, or more particularly as an MVD hearing officer for the better part of a year, I got to watch all these DWI attorneys in the state trot their stuff. It's a good thing to learn from.
So you got a sense of what works and what doesn't work.
I believe so. It's a lot of people, maybe they're looking based on TV and the movies for somebody that's kind of like a barking dog on a chain for their lawyer, the bulldog effect, and they confuse that kind of zealousness with effective zealousness. And for some lawyers it might work, that's who they are, and that works for them. I've more like a Kadumbo is what I've been quoted. I quietly lead the officers down the path, and before they know it, ow.
Well, Rod, I imagine that if I got arrested for a DWI, I would be embarrassed. I'd be scared. I might be afraid that my employer and my family are going to find out about it. There's such a stigma now associated with drunk driving. How would you be able to help me?
Well, first off, you're not alone. There's 6,000 to 7,000 people in Albuquerque arrested every year for this. And in the state of New Mexico, around 18,000. And in the United States, about 1.5 million every year. So, again, it doesn't make you a bad or evil person. You're just human like the rest of us. So, we recommend, even on a first offense, that you get in touch with some form of counseling. Nobody will need to know about it. And unless we want to pull it out to either get a good deal or if things don't go well, that's the be nice to me card. But aside from that, a lawyer can't say what their win rate is. We're ethically, you have no way of knowing about my losses. I'll show you all my wins. You can count on that. And if you really insist, I'll show you both my losses. But what I can do for you, roughly 20 to 25% of cases in New Mexico are dismissed or thrown out for whatever constitutional or technical type of a reason prior to trial. And roughly 10% of those people that end up in a bench trial win, and roughly 15% of those people that end up in a jury trial win. Well, each court in each area of the state's a little different, but that's the state generic averages, percentages. I like this. That's everybody in the soup. That's inexperienced lawyers. That's very experienced lawyers. And I believe that my statistics are a little bit better than that. So you'll get a lot of personal attention, understanding. We leave no stone unturned in the case. You're going to have an investigative team with you in an Albuquerque area case. And they're going to reenact the whole driving and field sobriety test scene and measure for slope and angle. We're going to get what I call a book on the officer. We're going to know about their cases, what their MO is. We'll be able to look into with the scientific lab division and get the breath logs and calibration logs on a machine. We get transcripts of the MVD hearing, and we also interview the officers by subpoena if necessary. Those will also be transcribed. So we're going to be loaded for bear, and you are going to have that information. This isn't magic. We don't work in the dark and spring things on you. It's your case. It's your life. It's not mine. So we will go over things together, learn together, make decisions that are best for you.
What if I don't want to go to trial?
Well, luckily, most of the time, the prosecution is able to make an offer that hopefully we can sweeten it to the point where it's not going to hurt the client. It depends on what the person's looking for. And I mean, in an extreme case where somebody's charged with a felony 4th, 5th, 6th offense and looking at 1-2 years in prison or more, and here's a deal to a misdemeanor with a drug court program of some sort, maybe that's what's best for them under those circumstances. I'm not the one to make the decision, but I'm there to help them explore these options.
And with the experience that you have in your jurisdiction, do you have relationships with the prosecutors where you'd be able to work with them to get a plea deal for me?
Well, it's at a point in my career I've blinked twice, and now here I am, and most all the judges in the state have been there less than I have been doing this. And indeed, a brand new district court judge is a former employee of mine, and also went to the National College of DUI Defense summer session, of which I'm a founding member of the college.
All right, bottom line, Rod, if I'm looking at your website now and I have a DWI arrest, why should I pick up the phone and give you a call?
I'm considered to be the best in the state. It's what I do, and if you want your best shot, I believe you need to give me a call.
All right, thank you so much.